All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back with you, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing today is a blueprint call. What does that mean? I have a client. He's been a client in the past. He kind of screwed up, jacked up his credit scores, dropped his score, kind of screwed up. We're going to do this blueprint call and interview him. It can take up to an hour's time. The main thing is listening and learning. What I would do for you is a customized blueprint for yourself as well. The goal is getting someone to millionaire status through the corporation structure. That's the ultimate goal for all of us. Everybody wants a millionaire status, but the bottom line is there's rules and tools. There's ways to do this the right way, the wrong way. So again, what do we do? Now we're not going to give the person's name at all. They have a case file. This is case file. Literally, we signed someone a case. It's 4099. It's been a client again, off and on, had some mistakes in the past. He came back to the process. He realized I'm the best game in town. He did pay a lot of violation fee. Understand? In my programs, it's simple. I had a wrapper rescore. I add history. All right, from there, I put you in the process. If you apply for credit and you crash the score, you drop, you get stuck, you can't get any more, I'm going to charge you a fee to reload the system. I had to redo the wrapper score and add the history again. So I'm sorry, if you screw up, I want you to only screw up. And if you're not willing to pay a violation fee, let me reload it to you. I close the case. So that's why I got several people, about 6 people online give me crap. They screwed up. They want to blame me. Do not blame me. The bottom line is just take responsibility, and that's the ultimate goal. So good morning. Good morning once again. How are we doing today? Fantastic. Love to hear it. Okay. So you pause for the file, you pause in the case, and you're back in the process. And today we want to review everything again and again. Okay. The main thing is figuring out how do we get structured the right way. So they sent you an analyzation sheet. Did you get that in front of you today? Okay. Yeah. Burnett would have sent it to you yesterday, today. Okay. If you don't see it in your email, look in your junk as well. If not, she can send you again. So now this is Analytical 750. It's analyzing your credit, shows all three agencies. All right. So again, analytical750.com is great because they give us all three bureaus, and that's what we need. So B, you want to send it to them again, please? She's going to send it to you right away as well. Okay. One of the things, this is why we don't use Credit Karma. Credit Karma years ago, the problem is besides their indictments and there's no phone number and they don't have a Experian. We need a Experian. Chase Banks pulls a Experian, so do your banks do as well. So here we send it to you. Now we're looking at a couple things here. Okay. Bottom line, years and years ago, you started at a 574. Okay. That's the beginning. No problem. You're currently at a 686. Okay, which is great. The score went up. That's in the TransUnion. We have 690 when it comes to the Equifax. All right, Experian, we have the 678. So we have to look at that as well. Our goal is, remember, these are basically an advanced score. The advanced score is what they are. We also have out there what's called FICO, okay, FICO score as well. Now here, what we have to look at is the count of basically inquiry base. Our biggest problem is, remember, my favorite bank is always going to be Chase, because Chase literally gives us personal cards, business cards with no interest up to 22 months. The other thing, getting a line of credit from Chase from 50 to 150 can be done in about 4.5 months if we line it up correct. That's the ultimate goal for all of us. So the next thing we look at is simple. Now, you've been flatlining on the dashboard here, and that's an up and down show. Keep in mind, okay, we always look at this graph that goes up and down, up and down. Now, you're in a wrapper rescore. So let's remember what Rapid does. Rapid Rescore blocks bad credit, it pushes scores up, and hopefully it creates what's green lights. So remember about 49 years ago when I created Rapid Scoring, that's when they can, in a mortgage, we can push the score up as they reduce some debt to ratio. Here we're looking at debt to ratio, okay? Now, I got you a bunch of cards. I got you two cards in the past, one in 2023 and one for 2024, okay? Those are the two capital ones you have. You have a capital one for 5,500. Okay, you have a capital one for 2,000. Okay, you also have a credit one and a Mercury. Okay, no problem. First question on capital ones. Utilization's good because it's under 29%. Have you one on the dashboard on capital one to try to increase the limit? Yes, have you done that? Okay, right. Well, what happens is that's great because we don't want inquiries. So what's going to happen, what we're doing right now is through the Phantom program. Phantom is going to give you back step by step by step. So we're going to send it to you within an hour's time after we broadcast this. And what do we do with you? Now what happens? If you go online to a Capital One and you act like you're going to pay the bill, it's very simple. You're going to pay the bill. All right. It basically, when you open that Capital One, it literally have a word "I want" on the right hand side. If you click "I want," it opens another page. Remember, this is going to be in the Phantom for the procedure step by step for you anyway. So you don't have to remember all this. Just make sure you understand what it does. When you put "I want" in Capital One, it opens another page. All right, left on the bottom, second to the left. It's very simple. What does it do? It says, would you like to increase your limits? If we do this on the dashboard, there's no inquiry. So in Capital One, there's a good procedure. Remember, every card has a personality to it. So we have to understand that every card has a kind of a personality. So what are we trying to do? On the Capital Ones that you've not basically asked for increases, I would go there and look at your projection of income. Okay, look at the numbers that are there. If you look at projections, if you change it by $5, doesn't really matter. What it does, it makes the system recalculate. So what you're doing on Cap One, you're stimulating their dashboard to give you an offer of increase. For instance, the card I got you for $5,500 back in 2023 is still $5,500. They would have probably increased that to $10,000. Okay, but again, we need to ask the question. That's a question you have to ask on your side because you're the one logging into your credit card. So the ultimate goal is understanding how we want you to do certain things. There's do's and there's don'ts. We don't want you to imply. We're asking you to increase the limit on a dashboard that does not trigger an inquiry. Okay, and that's the ultimate goal. That'll be in the procedure to back to you as well. While you're on the dashboard, the other Capital One I got you on this was it October 9th, 2024 for 2,000. The goal is on these Capital One cards every 3 or 4 months to ask to increase. We have to keep balances to them because balances show you're using the money they're trying to give you. So again, my first step on Capital Ones would be basically on the dashboard, see if we can increase the limit just by changing the projection. It doesn't matter if you change it by $5 or $10. Remember, if you have a corporation, all right, they always tell you about what's called a reasonable salary, reasonable income. So a projection, for instance, your corporation. You've had an LLC now, all right, from 2023. A projection. Do we have divisions? Do you have divisions under the corporation? No. Okay. Do you have any divisions that we need to file for you? Well, you're basically, go ahead. Well, you have this space, you have the corporation. It's an LLC. Okay. It is filed in 2023. Okay. And what would happen is, like that LLC, you'd want to set up divisions under that. Here's the thing you're looking at. All right. The divisions you have right now, all right, you don't have any, but you have an LLC. The LLC is positioned California. You have state and federal tax, California. As you know, there's a franchise tax fee in California up to $800 to $1,000. My question next would be, have you maintained the corporation and paid their franchise tax fee? Okay, okay, no, okay. Now, why Tennessee? Okay, okay, okay. Well, it's very inexpensive anyway. But again, it's a new LLC in 2026. Okay, in our, all right, every corporation or LLC has what's called a charter number. So what we're going to do later today is we have a charter number here. I'm going to have our paralegals or our legal team research the LLC with the charter number here, because back then there's even a tax ID. Okay, so now that you're back here in the position, our goal is to look at, is that 2023 corporation LLC in place still? Now keep in mind the debate people talk about. The LLC is basically a limited liability company. Supreme Court still says it's a corporation. The LLC was actually designed after sole proprietor. A sole proprietor literally become an LLC, limited liability company. All right, again, we still have disclosure problems. So we still have that 15.3%, all right, what's called basically employment tax. But again, we're going to research the corporation because I'd like to make sure we save it because I have the 2 to 3 years. Here's what happens, okay? Everybody we want is a corporation. Let's say we go to the bank. If we go to Chase Bank or B of A, whatever bank it is, they're going to give you what's called checkbook money. Checkbook money would be a line of credit, for instance, okay? The 4 banks that I always basically try to convince people to do, very simple, is basically Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, or US Bank. In my hand, I'm holding lines of credit of 150. So these are 150s with a debit card, okay? Now, if we don't have the know about the corporation, that means it has no bank account. So that means we're going to research the corp. Since you're back in the program now, again, it's been a while. Okay, we're going to research the corp, find it, find tax ID, and then we're going to position. Okay, I would like to position the California, all right, corporation more than the one in Tennessee. Okay, why? Because it's older. Why? Again, it's got the 2+ years. So let's give that some thought about lines of credit. So the goal is what we look at. To be a CFO, that's a chief financial officer. Okay, that means you have to be that for you and your corporation. So when we look at these things here, we've got cards. We have up to 700 score. We started at 574. All right, basically, I'm going to say just plays out sucked back then, but now it's up to 700 almost. So the goal is as we push this up. Go ahead. Okay. Okay. Well, what credit cards did she add you to? Is it the okay? Okay. I don't know if it's a credit one or if it's a Mercury. Okay. All right. So what I need to know, if she added you to 1 or 2 cards, what is that happening? What happens is, all right, when you got back in the program, I guess you deal with Lawrence now as your coach. Lawrence is basically the person's going to kind of administrate. He's basically your point person. That's what it is. So Lawrence is going to guide this to the paralegals, to me through coaching process, and that's great. He added you to what's called, yeah, again, Lawrence is your contact person now, all right, because you've been out of the program for a while now, we put you back in. So he's one of our specialists. He will help navigate anywhere, basically from paralegals, all right, to coaching with me, the classes, all kinds of stuff. What's going to happen is the reason what happens from there when you get back in the system, they actually put you in a rapid rescore. Okay. If you notice the lines here, on what they sent you, hopefully you received it now. And if you look at your email, you'll see it because Burnett sent it to you a couple of minutes ago. So what happens is, this is going to show a graph right here on the top. The graph is the up and down, up and down. So what's happened is the person adding you to a card, all right, a lot of times does not make your score go up. A lot of people think it does. Okay. If anything, it'll show as an authorized user. Okay. An authorized user sometimes hurts scores to get more credit. Let's remember, credit score to get credit cards to get more credit. Score builds more. That's the goal. We understand. We don't use credit cards personally or business cards to put in something in an escrow. We use a line of credit for that. But we'll talk about that as well. So rapid rescore, all right, everything in position right now, nothing's actually went up. It's flatlined. Okay. But I do want to know what cards she might have added you to. All right, what we need to understand as we watch this, because remember, we're monitoring this. We're going to do a rapid rescore, keep you in that place the whole time, and we're going to analyze you every 30 days. Every 30 days, we're going to be looking at this and target this to what it is. My job is to push you to 750, okay? And I want to keep you there. And the difference is, how do we keep you there for the 750? If I can make you a CFO for personal and business, I'm allowed to get you some lines of credit. That's what we're looking towards. So currently, we line of credit. I like to build people up to $1 million. Okay. Again, so whatever we have into the system. Okay. Well, in this system, what we have is basically we're going to build just between 100,000 plus. I'm going to overpop you. I always do that to every client. The goal is to overpop. We make sure there's a farm giving us permission to do this. The goal for here is we want to build as much credit. If we look at this analyzation, it shows you're now in $1 million in the making. We're going to give you a minimum of 100,000 plus. Okay, that's the goal. But let's see if I can overpop you, because the ultimate goal is very simple, personal. The only credit you have is the two cards that popped you in 23 and 24, because you haven't been in the program for a while, and now you're back in. Next thing, we have a Mercury. We have a credit 1. Credit 1 is not the greatest card, but it's just there. I want you to go basically flat out to Capital One, the procedure I gave you today, increase those limits on the dashboard. Next, my next question is, do you have yourself or anybody, all right, that's military? Okay. All right, but again, you have a family member somewhere in that family tree that's military. Who is that? You, I know you do. Everybody is. All right. Okay, no, you can stop. Dad was military. All right, he's in a, he's already basically gone to another place. But you just said dad is military. Okay, so that means we're going to send you the Navy link. Okay, let's understand exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to be calling Navy today. Okay, you're going to give them $15. You open in a Navy personal account. Navy, I can get you up to 80,000 in cards and a loan, all right, for $50,000. Dad was military. That's all I needed to know. So B is probably sending you the link now as we're talking. She always does. She's monitoring the call. You're going to call Navy. You're going to talk to a nice person and say, I need to open a Navy personal account. Okay, my father was military. They're going to verify the name you give them, and they're going to open your account now. So that means Navy, I'm going to line you up. This is credit cards up to $80,000. Okay, these are usually 10, 20,000 cards. $50,000 on the line of credit. My goal is to position you again to 750. Okay, you're going to keep balances on cards because I want the banks to see you're using the money. So Navy's the next step. Currently, are we married? Do we have a wife? You're single. Okay, so you have a fiance that you live fantastic. Okay, the reason I would say this, you could actually give your access code, okay, to your fiance. She can open her own Navy if she wants to. Okay, so the difference is she can open up her own Navy account once you get yours done. Because why? Because you will give her your access code. You're going to marry her, right? Okay, yeah or yes? Is it a yes or a maybe? Okay. If not, I'm going to call her and I'm going to talk to her about you. You said maybe. No, no, no. Okay, you're going to get in trouble. Okay. All right. So you're going to marry the beautiful woman. She has the same right once you open your Navy. Give her your access code. Let her open her own Navy because of your relationship. Got it so far? Now, don't care. I can get somebody lined up at Navy at a 550 score. You got a 550, you're jacked up. I'm going to get you Navy anyway. Okay? Because my next step is I want to review your girlfriend, fiance, future wife to be report in the future. So make that as a note. We look at her. You're telling me I have a husband and wife situation to be. That means I have two CFOs. I have a CFO for a profit company, maybe nonprofit, maybe a division in a corporation. Okay? So again, what is our goal? Make you the CFO you need to be. I'm going to build you $1 million of credit. That's what I usually do for almost everybody, up to $1 million. But again, that's corporation and divisions. We're going to talk about divisions in a second as well. Here we have, and there's a problem. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 inquiries, okay, on the TransUnion. Okay, you have 12 inquiries. Go ahead. I understand. Right, right. Okay. Now, no problem with that. Let's understand. Okay. So we refinance the house, so we rent out, we refinance the house we're living in, no problem. Now, the issue is, as we know, there's always an issue if you do inquiries in a program or jack-up cards. We know that's a violation. You paid a fee, no problem. We're getting past that. My issue is this. I want you to write down 524. It'll be on again, we're transcribing this back to you, but I need you to understand this mentally. I need you to understand how this works 100%. It's 524. Later on, you're going to research that. You're going to search it on the internet. That's all you're going to do. Chase has a 524. 524. Just 524. Okay. What happens is Chase has a 524 rule. So that means if you have 5 cards in 24 months, they tend to tell you no. If you have 5 inquiries, they tend to tell you no. So what I'm going to do here with these inquiries, once you're done with the refinancing house you're doing today, we're going to go after all these inquiries and we're going to basically say it's a duplication and we're going to get them push off the report. We don't do repair ever. We do basically rebuilding, and that's why we have to validate and analyze everybody. So again, once that house you're living in right now is refinanced, it's done. I need you to call your point person, which is Lawrence. All right, let Mr. Reynolds know the other house is refinanced. This one's refinanced, no problem. Now we're there. What am I going to do? I'm going to attack the inquiries. Why? Because I want to position you for Chase. They're going to come back and say, what about these inquiries? I'm going to justify the inquiries and get rid of the inquiries. Now, when we look at this as CFO, again, what do we have? We have a bankruptcy that was filed in 2020. It was a 13 was dismissed, correct? Okay, you had 2 of them. So you basically did what? You probably did what's called a bluff bank. It's right, 2020, it's 6 years ago. So I don't know if you did a bluff bankruptcy, you file it, it stops the foreclosure or whatever it is, it buys time, and then you basically push them off as well. I don't know if you did that because you had two, 924 and 12 2. Now, we're going to push them off the report. They're supposed to be there for 7 years. What can happen? What can happen is this: we might even have to seal your record. Okay? Bankruptcy is Federal Protection Act. Okay? Automatic stay. Again, I'm here to be safe an attorney, but there's a way to seal that so they can't report it in the first place. What happens is there's a company called Statewide that reports to the credit bureaus. And that's what happens all the time. So we have to look at things. How do I attack the bankruptcy? I'm going to go around it anyway. Long as it's 2 years old, nobody cares in the first place. But if it slows us down, we will actually do certain things on that as well. So our goal right now is again, through the phantom steps back to you, you're going to increase the Capital One cards. No problem. You have a credit one that has no balance to it. Is there any balance to it today? Okay. All right. I want you to go on the dashboard of credit one. Okay. When you go on the dashboard, all right, you're going to look at basically offers at the top. Offers at the top will let you increase the limit. Now, Mark started Credit One as he copied Capital One's logo, but indicted, sued, all kinds of stuff. They're out of Las Vegas. No problem. So Credit One, you can increase that limit as well. What is my goal? Every card you have right now is going to be 5,000 to 10,000. All right, minimum. I want them bigger than that. Okay. I want you to have 7 cards, $10,000 each, and then I want to focus on Amex cards. Now, if I have 7 to 10 cards, and I have basically like this is a 10, okay, this is Citibank, this is a 50. So if I get 7 of these and 1 of these, this is good. Remember, every card you have, I want you to start putting a stick in the back of the card. I want to make sure you stay within the 29% rule. So if a card's 5,000, like I got you basically in what, 2023, we have to realize one thing: we cannot jack up the card. That means we have to keep within 29%. If we take it to 30, all right, $3,000 on that neat card, like a 10,000. All right, 30% is yellow, 50 is red. We got to get your credit to be boring. What does that mean? Once you get 750, and we look at American Express Gold or Platinum cards that we have personally, these cards do not fluctuate. I got American Express 18 years ago to do a POT, pay over time limit. So if we get to these cards for you, there's no pay over time limit. If you have an emergency, something goes wrong, these are the cards you're going to jack up, because the other ones would drop your score. We don't want to play the up and down show ever again. We don't play up and down show at all. You said girlfriend, future wife has bad credit. We're still going to build her up. That is a CFO. That is crucial. So again, you're going to have some assignments today what to do, because I want to push this score up again to 750. We're almost 700 across the board. Good. We did start at a 574. No problem. We're going to build it up. Now, I've got a bunch of questions. Again, we're going to check out the corporation here. There's your charter number. Okay. Once we get the charter number, we find the corporation, verify tax ID. I'm going to want you to open a bank account at Chase Bank. Okay. So again, this is the steps we're going to do. Keep in mind, as you've known me for years, all right, I'm going to always tell you what to do, because it's faster this way and we don't make any mistakes, and it's just done. Your corporation is going to have a bank account at Chase Bank. Chase. Okay. Chase Bank will give you personal cards or business cards up to 22 months with no interest. Okay. To me, that's free money. I like free money. But again, we have to position it. Banks have to be positioned to get a line of credit. The reason we're picking on the California Corp is basically it's over 2 years old. This was filed in basically literally 2023. I got 3 years plus. Okay. When you go to the bank, keep in mind, all right, when we get this positioned right, they're going to ask you some questions, but you're going to interview them as well. Okay. Remember, all right, I'd like to see you on Saturday classes. We have 6 classes Saturday. You're in coaching, so you get all the classes, even the paid ones, for free, no problem. We have a nonprofit class on Saturday at 9 o'clock. It'll be on this Phantom as well, back to you in step by step. Our goal is to basically, with Chase Bank, get basically Freedom cards, Sapphire cards, 10,000 plus each. Okay, usually 20,000. The ink cards, all right, Chase has 6 ink cards, 6. So if we get all 6 ink cards, that's $350,000. Okay, that's to the corporation. Once again, all right, we're building credit to the corporation. That's the key. Borrow money not taxable. All corporate credits are write up anyway. Now, I'm going to position you. Go ahead. That's correct. No, stop. Sapphire and Freedom are under you personally. You have 2 cards, that's it. The rest is garbage. We got to get you some meat. That's where the Navy comes in. That's where Freedom or Sapphire come in. Those are personal cards. The ink cards would be corporate cards. Now, I'm going to go after a Capital One, or it's going to be gold, blue, or green. Okay? What happens is when it comes to Capital One, since you have a history, and I built you credit in the last, 23, 24. When I go after Capital One blue, gold, or blue or green, it's going to be a Spark card. Capital One is the only card that shows up on both files. So again, all corporate credit doesn't show up on personal file. All right, it doesn't show up at all. So nobody knows if you jacked it up to close an escrow. That's okay. Again, we'll talk about that as well. But the Spark card, always keep in mind Sparks. They fluctuate. If I got the one I got yesterday for someone is $40,000. Here's $40,000 card Spark. All right, got him a blue, no problem. But it's going to show up on personal file. I wanted to. Why did I do the one yesterday for the guy? He has 2 cards. That's it. You have 2 cards and the rest is garbage. If I get a $40,000 card, all right, for the corporation, and it shows up on personal, I now can get bigger cards. I am positioning you to get bigger cards. That's the key thing to all of this: bigger cards, bigger cards. Okay, we're going to have 7 cards personally, 10,000 plus. We're going to have one probably $50,000 card, and then we're going to get golds and platinums personal cards. They don't fluctuate. You will be 750 and above, and now you don't screw up anything again. You're now in control. You're now a CFO. What do we do next? At the same time, we're looking for the corporation that's been sitting there for 3 years. We have a charter number. We have a tax ID, bank account, positioning. This is Chase Bank. All right, personal card, business card. What are we going to do? Line of credit. Line of credit at Chase is 50 to 150. So when they give you a debit card, Chase, to a line of credit, you don't have to pay for a damn thing until you use it. That's the goal. You're talking about refinancing properties. Now, you're refinancing, you probably use some hard money loans. Is that correct? Okay. If you had the Navy relationship, they would have gave you a refinance or a HELOC, all right, easily, but the lower interest rate. You're not positioned right. That's why you use hard money. That's okay. You got what you needed. We got what you wanted. Future, we're going to redesign those things because, again, I'd rather get you better loans and better structure than you've had in the past. Okay. Now, we're going to go down the list a little bit, some more questions. Keep in mind, before you married your beautiful woman, you're going to get a prenup and a postnup. She's going to go, what? Now, you're laughing. Okay. All right. But when I explain it to the husband and wife to be, they understand it. Here's the situation. You're in California. California is a state called community property, community debt. That means if they sue you, they will sue your beautiful wife. Now she's not going to like you anymore. Okay. Now you're sleeping on the couch. Okay. You're sleeping on the couch now. You're in the doghouse. If you get sued, she's sued. No, 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 no. She gets sued, you're sued. Okay. I have always had a prenuptial and postnuptial agreement. All right. I created millions and billions. That's beside the point. My all right agreement says if I cheat, she gets it all. I cheat, all right, she gets it all. She cheats, I get it all. All I ever do in a prenup and postnup is put a cheat clause. See, husbands and wives, yeah, why we get wives go, no. So understand, the ultimate goal is we want to separate liability. Okay, eventually, do you have kids right now? How many you got? 5. Nope, no problem. Are they all grown? Okay. Well, he's still your baby, even though he's 17. Okay, that's all how it works. I have 6 kids, 5 girls and a boy. All right. So again, this is how it works. So I protect my wife and I protect the kids at all costs. That's why I have a prenup and a postnup. So understand something. Unfortunately, my first wife, I have 4 daughters with. I love my daughters. They're daddy's girls. But again, I married a woman from a Christian school, Biola University. Fantastic. Well, she was a cheater. What did she do? She cheated in the marriage for behind my back. So what did I have? I have a prenup and postnup. All right. What did Hay? Cheat clause. I still gave her 15,000 a week for 2 years. Every week, 15,000 bucks. But again, all right. When I was moving out, no problem. All right. And what happens is my daughter's at the door. Her name is Sarah, and she's crying her eyes out. Where's Daddy going? Where's Daddy going? So again, the movers, I said, move it all back. I stayed with my ex-wife in separate beds for 12 years. 12 years. Okay, raising my daughters. See, I have a problem. If someone touched my daughters, I don't worry about the law. I take care of Ray's law, my law. I take care of the problem, believe me. So again, I raised my 4 daughters, no problem. And I have my new daughter. She's 18 now. My son's 12 years old, going on 25. Fantastic. But again, the cheat clause saved the asset. But the thing is, I still gave her 15,000 a week. If I got sued, they could sue her. Now, let's understand another example. I came out of coma in 2009. My 3.7 billion was stolen. My tax attorney, no problem. I have David Kinner, Defer Records. Okay, he's one of my attorneys. I have a whole lot of attorneys. During the coma, my tax attorney decided to seal the 3.7 billion of structure. Now I'm getting audited 3.7 billion. Okay, 3.7 billion. I became a billionaire at 21 to corporate structure. Okay, so again, it's not hard to do if you know what you're doing. But he stole the goodies. Very simple. I want my stuff back, so I'm suing everybody. And then the IRS says, I'm going to audit you. Okay. I said, you owe me $385,000. Pay me my money. They said, well, you have to, basically, we're going to give you a bill for the audit. Now, here's the auditor being a jerk, typical people. We're going to give basically the audit bill also to your current wife. David Kinner stood there and said, excuse me, Mr. Reynolds has a post-up and a prenup. And the auditor said, what, you did it yesterday? No, sir. He's had it from the basically since they got married. And the 9 attorneys of California signed it. So what did it do? They couldn't give her a bill. They gave me a bill. The difference is they couldn't hurt the wife. So in both things, one's a cheater, one's a tax bill. Again, if I get sued, they can sue her. Prenup and post-up, they cannot. She gets sued, they can't sue me. Understand how this works? Our goal and my goal is to overpackage your life, overpackage everything you do, because I want your corporation doing $5 million a year, at least $5 million. Then we're going to think about how aggressive you'll want to be. Okay, so you're going. Your corporation should be doing $5 million a year, period, in the next 12 months. Okay, I'm going to tell you what to do, boss you around. You're going to do what I tell you to do. How's that? Because that's what I always do. It's terrible. It's just me. Okay. So as we're doing these things for a reason, we're structuring the hell out of it. Again, what do we do? So again, corporation, we verify. Bank account, Chase Bank, no problem. Future wife, prenup, postnup, we'll explain it to her too, so she doesn't get mad at you. Because if you get sued in this real estate stuff, she's not going to get mad at you. Hell, you're sleeping on the damn couch. Because if they sue you, they're suing her. She doesn't want that. A man's job is to take care of his queen, period, at all cost. Okay? There's no reason a man ever brings the damn pain home if he's a true man. Okay? Never bring the pain home. Now, questions. Okay? Do we have, well, we know we have a bankruptcy years ago, chapter 13. Have we have a tax problem? Any tax problem? Okay. All right. So we have a federal tax bill and a state tax bill. See what happens a lot of, well, no, the difference is what happens is when it comes to basically a federal tax bill. What happens with federal, what they do is very simple. They rat you out to the state. They always do. Okay? So if you have it's like California, you have state and federal tax. So state, you're making a payment, no problem at all. State will not be negotiating anything. California are bloodsuckers, period. They will not negotiate anything you owe. You'll be making that payment until we get it paid off or settled and get it out of the place. Federal is Monty Hall time. Yeah, they're very hardcore. Now, federal is Monty Hall. Okay. Now, you sold a house. Why didn't you do a 1031 exchange? Okay. So you sold one house, 1,500,000. Okay. Then you bought a house worth 875, and then you paid off a bill. The 100,000 you paid somebody, was that a business expense? Okay. No problem. All right. Did it create a tax problem for dad? Okay. Well, what happens is borrowed money is not taxable. So if you're paying back a loan, you're okay. So that's what you look at. As we're paying back a loan, no problem as we look at these things. So again, no problem for dad, no problem at all. Good. Now, you said you put 400,000 on the house you're in now. So 300,000 in the house. Why? I don't know. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, the difference is you probably just put a bunch of money down. They close the escrow. The house is in your whatever name it is. We're going to talk about that too. When you put 300,000 in a house, I'm going to tell you you killed money. Okay. Because money. All right. As you know, yes, you did. Okay, good. Because that money could we reference 3 times 5. I could have turned that $100,000 or 300,000 into $8 million of credit. 8 million. Okay, that would buy the damn houses, cash everything you're doing today. That's how much you killed money. Okay, sorry, but that's what happened. Now it's okay. You're in the house now. You just refinanced it as well. My next question is: the house you're in, you said you're refinancing, almost done with it now. Who is on the loan? Good. I'm glad to hear that. Unfortunately, a lot of silly people in this world, husbands and wives, all the time, like to put the loan in both names, which is called dumb. Because if you lost the house, they're going to give you a 1099-C from the IRS. Now you both have problems. Now, the house when it's done, because you cannot homestead the house while it's in an escrow. Are you going to homestead the house? Okay. Well, you just said I should, or I got to think about doing it. Okay. This is where well, this is where I'm going to come in. I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to do. Period. You're going to homestead the house. All right. You have to homestead that house. California homestead is $170,000 to 175. You will, once that house is done and you refinance, it's done, refinance, period. You're going to get a form online called homestead, or you can pay someone to do it as well. It's up to you. You're going to homestead the house, all right away, okay, like the same day. See, when people buy a house, it's very simple. It's escrow, close, homestead, trust. That means flat out, before they got the damn keys, they put a homestead and it's an irrevocable trust. All right, before they got the keys. Unfortunately, no one teaches people a damn thing in this world besides me, it seems like. Now, once the homestead is done, do you have an irrevocable trust? Irrevocable trust. No, an irrevocable trust. Okay. We're going to send you something called Legal Shield. It's a company we work with. So you're going to get a link on that. So we're going to homestead the house. We're going to put it into an irrevocable trust, period. That means the house is not yours, all right, at all, personally liable for nothing. You're going to, okay, control the trust. If and when you want to, you can add your beautiful girlfriend, who's your fiance, be your wife, into the trust. If you know it now, she could be part of the trust now. See, husbands and wives, one's a duck and a sheep. Then we put it escrow, homestead, trust. Now you both control the asset by the trust, irrevocable trust. So again, this is a procedure. You're going to get step by step by step on the Phantom what you're going to do step by step, because we don't want you guessing. We don't want you reading your notes. We want you to read my notes, because most people do lousy note taking. Now, so we talked about kids in the future. Okay, let's see. We are basically okay. You're what, 69 years old? Okay, you're good. No, I said 60, 69. So you're 68. You're going to be 69 this year. Okay? Okay? 30 years from now, 40 years from now, we're going to be gone. Who's going to take over your estate? I want you to start thinking. Okay? I want you to think about this. In the near future, if you allow me to tell you what to do for the next 12 months, you do what I tell you to do, your corporation is going to be worth $5 million. Your children, that corporation will tie to irrevocable trust. Your children at the time of demise will be able to take over everything you got with no damn probate. Okay? From now on in the irrevocable trust. It'll be underwriting for you, irrevocable, period. Okay? In the future, with your beautiful fiance to be, wife soon to be, when you see any contract from now on that says and, any contract that says and, in front of an attorney, CPA, you're going to cross that sucker off. You're not allowed to sign anything with the word and, you and me, you and hell no, hell no. You're going to change it to or every time. Every time it's or. Always or. I want you or your girlfriend, wife to be able to sign a damn piece of paper. All right? We're not getting stuck into probate because that sucks. So it's going to be or. Okay? The bottom line is you or somebody, period. Whoever you want it to be, that's going to be up to you. House is protected. That's the house you live in. Now, you said you have a house that's in another state, okay, that has basically just been refinanced, correct? This is still in California? Fantastic. Hulu, that's fine. Okay. So that house you say that you have right now, another house that your girlfriend, fiance, and you're both basically on the deed, but you're on the loan. No problem. Okay. Question: who lives in the house? Okay. So are they paying rent? Okay. Okay. So we have relatives living in another house that you're on the deed with your girlfriend, you're on the loan, and they're paying her, she pays the mortgage, correct? Okay. All right. Now, if somebody got hurt there, hypothetically, they would sue somebody. Is that correct? Okay. They're suing you and your girlfriend. Okay. All right. We're going to prevent that. Okay. We're going to do it the Ray Reynolds way. Okay. We're going to go back to history for a second. 1984. Okay. I own the largest satellite distributorship in the world. I'm doing hundreds of satellite television. You know those big ugly antennas? So satellite TV. Okay. So I got installation, I got basically retail stores, I got manufacturing. That organization's doing up to 100 million plus a year. No problem. Okay? So, but it's positioned right. Guess what happens? One of my trucks was basically in an accident because someone ran a light. They ran the light to crash one of my trucks from NASA installation. No problem. Now, we have insurance, no problem from there. The person who ran the light, their attorney called us and said, we want to sue the insurance company to get money out of them. Okay, well, that's not nice. Your guy's guilty. And by the way, the attorney, you've heard it before on TV and radio. My name is Larry Parker. Okay, I'm a bloodsucker. Okay, unfortunately, he is. So Larry Parker calls my office and he wants to sue only to get money from the insurance company. Again, you'll watch Larry Parker's ads on radio and TV to this day. Sorry, the man passed away 3 years ago. God rest his soul. They're still advertising the guy that's not, he's passed away. He's on the other side. Okay? That's how it works. Because every business I have and every truck is a division, all right? I bankrupt the division, disconnected. I said incorporate. I bankrupt the piece. I told Larry Parker where to put it in a nice way with a pretty bow on it. So we're going to bulletproof you 100%. The reason I bring up 84 when I'm the satellite king and blah, blah, blah. I own some Shakey's, 31 flavors, some Subways, some shopping centers and condos. My problem I have in California, not only is it overtaxed in price, and unfortunately our governor pissed off Elon Musk and he moved out of the state. We lost 14,000 jobs because we have this governor's, my opinion, whatever it is. 1984, they want me to pay franchise tax fee. The current franchise tax fee today is $800 to $1,000 per corporation in California. So again, per corporation, don't like it. I asked the question, I went to Sacramento, our capital. Very simple. Can I create a division or an entity under a corporation? That was my question. They sent me to two departments in Sacramento, California in 84. I created a form called division process. It's been in my books now for 45 years. Division process was born. I created it. They gave me permission. Okay? So every entity, your LLC, if they sue it, they would sue you. You're the officer, you're on the bank account. If it's basically a corporation or LLC, divisions, you're building line of defense. Here's my thinking, all right, back then and even now. Bank of America and your banks last year bankrupt 22,000 locations. How do they do that? Well, I've been studying law and accounting since I could practically walk because I didn't like to live in hell. I didn't like being used and abused as a kid because I didn't get a family or mommy and dad like everyone else did. I got screwed over. That's just life. So I wanted to study law and accounting. That's what I've done my whole life. So problem. What did I do? I created a division process, a division under the corporate umbrella. Every car, every truck's a division. Okay? Every house you have right now, if you set up the division process, that house that your soon to be wife's be girlfriend, father lives in, your father-in-law to be, all right, lives in that house, his wife, and also her brother. Fantastic. If there's a problem, they would sue the registered owner, they would sue the corporation or the division. Right now, they're going to sue you because you're basically on not only the bank account on the loan, you're also have it deeded to you. If you and your beautiful woman would like to transfer that to a division of a corporation, you would transfer the liability off of you immediately, the moment it's transferred. So a division created a line of defense. Every business since then has been a line of defense because every business, we have a problem. An LLC sued, they sued the founder, you, the officer, and the bank account. C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit, PC. So what happens is we have to realize those are on Secretary of State's website. A division under the corporate structure is a line of defense. Now think of banks last year, that's why I brought it up. Every Bank of America, they bankrupted 16,000 last year alone. Every bank got branch was bankrupt because it has a separate tax ID. Major companies bankrupt locations. It's called branch number, store number, whatever it is. Orange County, 11 cities filed bankruptcy because they know how to play the game. They have a Chapter 9 bankruptcy for cities. So if we turn around and have a division managed by your LLC, okay, all right, what's going to happen is that division has the property. If there was litigation, hypothetically, again, I'm not here to be safe an attorney because we don't have that type of agreement. But if you had a problem, they would sue the division, not you. Right now, you're the duck and sheep. Again, I want us to think about these things step by step, again and again, to position this right. You guessed about the 1031. You guessed about the 300,000. You guessed about the property. We're going to go guessing. No more guessing. We're going to build a $5 million company. $5 million company, period. IRS says 5 million below a small company. We're going to build you a small company. That's what it is. 5 million bucks. It's not you. All money in the future gets filtered to the divisions and to the parent company. Corporations pay no tax until it's profitable. The reason they created LLCs was to receive money from a sole proprietor. Because what happens is the sole proprietor, in most cases, you didn't get a tax ID, use your SSN. So again, LLC, again, when the LLC makes money, you're going to convert it to S Corp. You will be converting your corporation LLC to an S Corp. Allows you and your beautiful wife that will be at the time to file one tax return called single filing. It allows you to offset taxes. If you're a lousy bookkeeper, it's okay. If you're great, fantastic. S corporations do not have a problem with the employment tax. S corporations do not have that 15.3 everybody talks about for the LLC. We're going to have a reasonable paycheck. They call it reasonable. By the way, your paycheck is going to be what it takes to pay your bills, and you're going to break even and be broke. Okay? So your reasonable paycheck in the future will be exactly what it takes to pay your bills. And that way, it's everything simple. You have two houses. All right, these houses for 24 months, the payment is interest. For the 24 months, that's what it is. Or sorry, I'm 24 years. I'm sorry, 24 years. For the first 24 years, on literally these houses, it's all damn interest. You know this. So if we get a paycheck and our paycheck is taxed, the way we get money back on a paycheck is because we have a house payment. You have two of them. One is basically going to be a division of a corporation, one you live in. You package them differently because one's a liability, the other one's in the irrevocable trust, and we basically play the game to win. That's the ultimate goal. So again, these are things I want you to think about. In coaching calls, every 4 weeks we're on this phone. Every 4 weeks you get your next list and the next step, because I don't want you screwing this up. Okay? Those days are over. Divisions. Let's talk about divisions. If you wanted to buy a Wendy's restaurant today, how would you buy it? Well, Wendy's is run by a management company. You can buy a piece of a Wendy's, a piece. That means whatever you put into escrow, you get an income forever. If your family took over your irrevocable trust and all your assets, what happens? They own a Wendy's forever. I mean, you got to understand, people own things forever and ever and ever, and that's what you got to get through. You're doing the real estate game fantastic. I decided when I was 21 to become the damn bank. I was controlling 2.2 billion in real estate through corporate structure. Again, not me. I'm not a billionaire or millionaire. I'm broke. I don't get a paycheck. Isn't it terrible? I don't want a paycheck, but I have everything I ever wanted. In the future, you're going to have 18 divisions to your corporation, your LLC. See, the LLC is going to be converted over to an S corp making money. You're going to have 18 divisions as soon as possible. Each division allows me to set up a credit file. Okay? The way I designed it, very simple. If I have this $350,000 credit here on ink cards for the corporation, I can do the same thing for every division. Every division can have anywhere from $100,000 to $1 million of credit for each division. You're going to build credit up to $5 million. If our goal is $5 million company, we build $5 million of credit. Goal equals to credit. Credit equals to goal. That's what it works. So each division is going to have their own credit files, Experian, Treasury, and Equifax. If I get the Amex cards for you personally, that's fine. Here's your personal credit, boring 750. What do? Simple. We turn around from there and we get the Amex cards for us personal. No, we get enough for the corporation. These are $100,000 paid over time limit for the corporation. Now I want to do it for every division. Every division can have up to 100,000 to 1 million of credit. I designed this way in 85, 86. If I have 3 divisions, I'm talking about 300,000 of credit. I'm talking about up to $30,000 a month income, auto income. We're going to get you a storage unit. I'm going to buy you a laundromat. I'm going to get you a car wash. I wrote the first books on these 47 years ago. It's simple. I got clients say, you need a laundry car. No, you need to own the damn thing. You're the bank. If I do that and I have 3 more divisions, I'm going to buy an apartment complex. You're in California. 4 units and below is not commercial. 5 units and above are commercial. So we can position ourselves. You like real estate. What if I got you a fourplex for every division you have? And you have a management company managing these pieces. Not only the value of the property is going up, you just created yourself $12,000 a month for each division. $12,000 a month. If I get 3 more divisions, I'm creating 900,000 of credit. 900,000 of credit. That's the possibility. If you do what you're told to do, you will create up to 100,000 a month income forever. This world has to realize you have the ability to do this since day one. Day one. I don't like what happens with people. They don't do it right. Okay, then they basically have to repackage them, no problem. So division process, you're going to set that up as soon as possible. For this LLC, we're going to track down today and connect all the pieces to that as well. So divisions. We talked about irrevocable trust. We're going to send you again. All right, Legal Shield, we're going to send you a piece of paper. You're going to get a basically irrevocable trust. House that's leased to mom or dad or whatever, dad, father-in-law, that should be a division, all right, as well, because liability is off of you. If you quit claim deed that house that you're on the loan, you and your girlfriend are, to a division, the liability goes to the division. We set up divisions to be ducks and sheeps. Banks, bankrupt locations, they don't bring the pain to the parent company. You keep bringing the pain home to you. We had to stop that stuff. Again, now, you guys have cars. So do you have cars? Any car. You drive a car, right? Okay. Your girlfriend drives a car, right? Are they paid for? Okay. Now, let's pretend you're at the store today. If you bump someone's car, what are they going to do to you? Sue, okay? They're going to call what I call the bloodsucker, all right? On billboards today on freeways, you see their billboards everywhere. When they sue, they're going to sue the registered owner, which is you, okay? That means if you're sued today with your beautiful bride, all right, they sue you, they sue her. Huh. I wonder if we had a marriage agreement they could do that. They can't. See what happens? You just protected your wife and your kids because the problem is yours. But again, if that cars you have paid for are a division, they would sue the division. Your cars in the near future will be registered to a division of a corporation. The division will be your duck and sheep, period. It has to be duck and sheep. We, the people, cannot bring the pain home. It's not acceptable. Again, now your driver's license today, your registration, and your insurance have your home address on it, do they not? Okay, it needs to be changed to a mailing address. To a mailing address. Okay, that'd be fine. California allows PO box to driver's license. Here's your problem. Today, all right, you had that bumpity bump. Here's my driver's license, my insurance registration. You just told them where you live. Now the bloodsucker attorney sizes you up, does a title search. They want to see where the money is. If it was a P.O. box or mailing address, what do they get? Mailing address. That's it. We do not allow someone to know where we live. We maintain our privacy. Okay? Then the next thing in the future, all your bills, utility bills, and credit card bills will be paperless automatic payment. Okay? I don't want them to ever know where you live because it's credit. Now watch what happens. If utility bill and car payments, whatever it is, or even credit reports and credit cards have automatic payment, paperless. We will pay an extra payment, all right, if you want your credits to go up. When I was the consultant for TRW became Experian, we called it fast pay, quick pay. So that means if I do basically an extra payment per week or bi-weekly, score goes up and away. That's what we wanted to do. Again, but also we need to be paperless. We do not want a bill coming home. Currently today, you and your beautiful bride-to-be are on the national mailing list. They're selling your information everywhere they can, even on the dark web. If you call it 888-567-8688, you can opt out for 5 years. It'll be on the Phantom Report as well. So what happens is very simple. All right, keep in mind in most things in me, I have most of the time I have recall and things, and my IQ's off the friggin' chart. So that's why I create a lot of stuff to help people in the first place. Again, knowing how to position yourself. We got to make sure you're bulletproof. If they sue, they get a division and they get diddly squat. What do? You bank up the division, you tell them to go away. Go bite the big one, leave them alone. That's what it is. There's no reason you should ever have a problem if you do it the right way. But again, all right, you have to structure this the right way as we position this. So cars, again, register to a division or corporation. 18 divisions need to be set up as soon as possible. We've already talked about house. Now there's two things to talk about. Auto income. Auto income, you can keep doing your real estate thing you love today. But if I position you right, I'm going to line you up to buy a Wendy's restaurant, 25%, a laundromat, a car wash, an apartment complex. These are run by management companies, not you. You don't run a damn thing. You become the bank. You're going to take a line of credit that line you up, let's say Chase. Let's say today I got 150 on a Chase line of credit, got my debit card. I write a check to an escrow company. I will give you the broker's list. We're going to send you the broker's list. You're going to get that today too. She's probably sent it the moment I mentioned it. Broker's list. You can buy these things yourself on your own, but that's up to you. If I line up an escrow that I'm in, you get to get a piece of an escrow. You will never give me any escrow money. I don't touch it. You put money in an escrow. If you wrote a check from the line of credit for $25,000 and you got a car wash, you got a percentage of it. That income is up to $3,200 a month for your organization forever, forever, forever. Period. It's just going to go up. You don't do a damn thing. It's auto income managed by a third party. The way the management companies are set up is very simple. When you use a line of credit or money to get into an escrow, they make sure and they verify how you paid it. Notice, what did you use to put in escrow? Oh, you used borrowed money. It's not taxable. Okay, no problem. The escrow closes. Management company pays the bill before they give you the proceeds every month. They will not give you proceeds on anything until that bill is paid. They will not let you rip off creditors, so it's kind of dummy proof. It's simple. Auto income. Each division can have up to 100,000 of credit, daisy chain it, and own 10 things within 12 months or less. I'm going to say a year and a half, we have 12, we have 10 escrows. That 10 escrows is 100,000 a month for your organization forever. You own a piece. You own a piece. So again, there's no reason for you to you do what you do. Will enhance income, will replace income. That's the ultimate goal, is to enhance or replace. Again, auto income. When I wrote Winning the Game of Business in 1975, I put out there in 1976. I've been doing what I do for 50 years so far. 6 days a week, I'm online and literally in Saturday classes. I put in my book, Cash Flow for Your Time. I own the rights to that. Kiyosaki had to file a bankruptcy, had to reposition himself. Tony Robbins, I've had to go after him a couple of times. I own the blueprint of success. Again, they shouldn't steal my goodies, and that's what happens all the time. Everybody wants to copy or steal things. That's just what happens. So we're going to create auto income, cash flow for your time, and that's what we're going to get to. Our goal is to repackage everything you do today. If you go on the live today, you'll find out one thing. I will say your way sucks, mine works. That's what I tell everybody because it's true. We have to repackage you. When's the last time you've been on one of my lives? That's right. That's right. That's what you're doing. Fantastic. You told you right. What's going to happen when we're done with this conversation? I'm going to bring in Lawrence in front of me. He's your point person. He's your specialist. He's the one who's going to navigate paralegals that are this department, credit building, where's the corporation, where's the divisions, and all the pieces. And him and I are going to work together to work for you. The goal is to position you right. 18 divisions of pieces. Now, in the future, the reason I asked what your future wife does, okay? You said her credit's terrible. What does she do for a living? Fantastic. She wants to retire. Fantastic. From there, she's going to have some fun. She's going to have a daycare. Okay. I would love the reason I asked her husband and wife situation. To me, that's two CFOs. If you allow me in the future, I'd like her to go to the classes on Saturday with you if you can. The Saturday well, Saturday. That's right. Saturday specialty class is nonprofit. Okay. I want your beautiful wife to have that daycare under a nonprofit corporation. I want it to be a division. Okay. You got to realize one thing. Okay. That daycare under a division, that's grant money. If she today had a nonprofit organization with a 501c3 exemption, public benefit, you're talking grant money up to 100,000 a month. See, being daycare, she's entitled to state and city money, federal money, if she does it right. All right, she can take care of the kids, transportation, all kinds of stuff. So if she thinks about nonprofit, the class is free to you since you're in coaching on Saturday. It's 9 a.m. We're going to send you the whole schedule. On Saturdays, we call it Spend the Day with Ray. You can from 3:15 in the morning a.m. all the way to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to be standing there for 12 hours telling people exactly what to do. I want them to create their own blueprint as well, and then I'll offer to do a private one like we're doing here. So again, nonprofit. Her daycare business could be a division of a corporation. Okay, why? It has to be nonprofit to get grant money. California today, if you look at grants.gov, you got portals will hand you money, they'll throw money at you. And that's the goal. That house that you have your father-in-law to be lives into, if you turn that into hospice care, elderly care, okay, that's grant money under a nonprofit. Currently, that house they rent, it should be a division of a corporation. In the future, I'm going to convince you to transfer into a nonprofit corporation. All right. See, we realize her father's getting older. All right, we know this. Okay, we have to position that correctly. If we had the doors that it took wheelchair beds, that's 112,000 a month grant money. See, we just have to position ourselves right to get the money. Again, it's going to be up to you. I'd have her on. Go ahead. You're a nonprofit public benefit. I would want you to qualify in all 50 states. Every damn state. Okay? The reason you get nonprofit California, federal exemption, 501c3. I'll teach you how to do it versus paying $15,000 to do it. You now get nonprofit status. You get status, no problem. You would elect basically the Attorney General's office in California. You would register with them because they actually waive your franchise tax fee. So now you have state and federal exemption, and you go to all 50 states. Why stay here? You could play the game here and bring in money all 50 states at the same time. Again, that's the goal. It's like the credit repair crap. Credit repair is crap. We rebuild. I wrote the first books on Prove It or Remove It. Hell, I helped set up the system with Yarborough in the 70s and 80s. All right, the oldest card, fluctuation rule. Credit repair, they must have a license, bonded at the Attorney General's office, must have a bond, must be nonprofit, and none of these circus clans are. None of these clans are basically licensed and bonded, and they're just taking people's money. Credit repair doesn't work. Credit rebuilding does. It's like when I had consumer credit counseling. It was on all the credit bureaus because it's nonprofit. Nonprofit can work. Debt consolidation is crap. But again, it's just another way to look at it as well. Okay. Now, is your brain a little tired now? Well, the goal is very simple. I want you to get the Phantom report that we're going to send you in a few minutes. She's sending you the Navy link. You're going to make a phone call. It's going to tell you that as well. Open Navy today. Once it's open, I want your girlfriend to do the same thing. I don't care if her credit's bad or not. Okay? I'd like you to have your girlfriend's credit looked upon for us to actually rebuild her too. I want her at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning watching Nonprofit. I want you both, the whole days, you guys, you can spend the whole day with Ray. Okay, that's the goal. I want you to think about, again, quick claim deed. Take the property you live in now, homestead, and put it in irrevocable trust. Think about this as well. Everything we talked about is step by step in the Phantom report back to you. It's step by step. I'm sorry, you can't even screw it up, okay? You just follow the link, and what they're going to do is tell you exactly what to do next. So I'm going to be sitting with basically Lawrence in a few minutes. He's your point person to navigate to paralegals, to basically the department that does divisions, corporations, and me as well. We're going to make sure we're all on the same page, and that's pretty important, okay? All right, go ahead. Fire away. Okay. No. Slow down. Let's understand. If we spend a card like Chase, a personal Chase card, there's no interest for 22 months. If you spend 50,000, I'm going to get mad at you, okay? Because you're not supposed to use more than 29%. So remember, these are rules and tools. What's going to happen if you spend $30,000 today, 30,000 a day on that Chase card? The payment is $280 a month. Can you afford it? Yes or no? We're going to position you that you don't back yourself in a corner. You did it enough times in your life. We're going to stop that crap. There's no backing somebody in a corner. We spent $50,000. That means we better be in a damn escrow. You don't spend big money unless you're in an escrow creating an income. Line of credit escrow, 90 days later, you have an income to pay the damn bill. The management company deducted the money from the escrow to pay the bill. You get the damn leftover. We will not allow you to be a lousy bookkeeper. Okay? That's not happening. So when you get credit, personal cards, again, fluctuation, rules, and tools. $10,000, what can we use on a card for 10,000? Simple. If we take that past 2,900 bucks, we just dropped our score. We just screwed up everything I'm telling you to do. No. Every personal card is 29% for the rest of your life. Between 25, 20% period. I wrote the rules in the 70s and 80s. We're going to stay to that. Your score stays at 750. Your score, again, credit cards build score to get more. It's going to be boring as hell. I want it to be boring. Okay? I want your corporation to let me get you dollars in credit lines. I don't care if it's Navy, I don't care if it's Chase, whatever we do. That money is not to be spent. It's to go in a damn escrow. Escrow, escrow. Keep it in your mind, escrow. We're going to close escrow. I don't care if we buy you a damn laundromat and ran by third party, a car wash, all the pieces we've done things. So here, we're not going to bring the pain home. There's going to be paid the bill. It's very simple. All right. It's the way we're going to structure. You don't have to worry about you got $3,000 due tomorrow. No, no, it's not going to happen. We're going to position correctly. Okay. That's the whole thing of building long-term auto income. What are the questions you have today? Hell yes. No, 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 no. We're going to send the information in steps. You're going to do it right 100% from now on. Okay. I tell every client, I tell them what to do every step. Lawrence is going to reach out to you and say, how did the call go? How soon would you like to do the visions? How can I help your girlfriend, future wife, to look at her report as well? Your point person is Lawrence. He's going to navigate this, and you and I are on the phone every 4 weeks. Okay. I want to make sure 4 weeks from now, what I just gave you in writing to do, you get it done. You have your marching orders. You have exactly what I need you to do. Go ahead. We're gonna send you. We already have a script for you. Okay. When she sends you the link, read the script. Any problems? Our county manager Burnett, she's not supposed to be coaching. She loves to babysit people in Navy. You get a problem. A guy did last week. He calls Navy. They didn't like it. They said no. She said exactly this. Get on that phone. You call now again. I train my clients and my employees very simple. You basically get pushy. You don't hear no. Call back the person. Got a nicer person. 5 minutes. And this man's great grandfather was in the military. Great grandpa. Okay. Yours is dad. Okay. The Navy got opened up. I got him a card for $7,100 in the first damn week. Again, a bigger card. We don't jack it up. We pay a little payment. We stimulate the credit file. So if you get problems anytime, you got Lawrence, you got Burnett will help you. We'll line you up for Navy. You're going to get a yes today, period. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Nope, 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 nope. All you need is his name. Where was he born? That's it. Okay, that's it. They research it. I was lucky I got my Navy for one reason. At 14, I was tested out for T Week or junior high. The government stuck me in Orange Coast College part time when I was 14 and a half years old. I didn't go to high school. The only reason I got my Navy is they could prove I was in a government BS program at 14 and a half years old. It took me 15 minutes to verify my situation. Hey, I see you in the system. You're there. Fantastic. All they're going to do is verify dad's name. That's it. All right. Any other questions? Okay. We're doing the blueprint first right now. These are the assignments to do today. Okay. From there, your next call is in about 4 weeks. Okay. This is, I want you online all day. They're going to send you a link to everything, but at least the 9 o'clock class with their future wife to be. It's nonprofit. I want her daycare to be nonprofit. I want her to get $100,000 grant money, and I want her to kick your butt. Isn't that terrible? Okay. Husbands and wives always play this game with me. We get competition because it's a race and it's fun. Okay. That stress goes aside. We don't get stressed anymore. Okay. All right. So we're going to get you to this right away. I'm going to talk to Lawrence, go over your case file, and then he's going to call you back. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to basically leave you on hold for a second. All right. Burnett's going to talk to you for a second to make sure you got the link. All right. All right. Legal Shield, Navy as well. Okay. Brokers list. I want to make sure you get these things because, again, as we line these up. So hold on a second. She'll be right back with you. Okay. Have a great and blessed day. I'll talk to you soon. All right, people. What did you hear? Okay. Very simple. You heard the ability to repackage yourself. Do you understand what that means? Okay. I'm Ray Reynolds, the Godfather Credit. I built 60 billion for my clients and myself, and I'm not full of crap. Unfortunately, the circus clowns out there, you got 20% of blah 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 crap, 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 and it's BS. You shouldn't have to deal with crap. You do that because you don't listen. You do that because you're not online letting me hold your hand. Hey, every Saturday, 50 years, Saturday, 6 classes. I'm online twice a day, Monday through Friday, twice a day, trying to help people. I made a promise when I was 7 years old. I made a promise if I could walk again, I'd help people the rest of my life. I've done it for 50 years. So it's very simple. Hi, Ray. How are you? Always good. It's the only question and answer you get all the time. I've been saying always good since I was a little boy. Why? How you doing, little boy? See, these people didn't give a damn. I'm an orphan. I didn't get a mommy and a daddy like all of you. I got used and abused as a kid, and it sucked. So my response to everybody is always good. Thank you, Jesus. See, I'm ready to fight. Been doing that since I was born in the damn taxi. You got a choice, people, today. Listen and learn. Today I'm at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, again, live. I'm going to demonstrate a blueprint for an hour and a half in front of you if you have your tablet and pen ready to go. If you don't, then guess what? If you don't want to play with me, just go away. Play with me or go away. It's how it works. I build millionaires and billionaires. Do you understand? I'm the largest registered agent in the world. I've sold and given more corporations away anybody on this planet times 10. You got a guy wanting to help you if you want, but again, it's up to you. So again, this was a blueprint call. All right, I'd like you to customize you if you want as well. Let us know. See, there's all kinds of details here. We have to understand how to play the game. We got to win the damn game. That's why I wrote that basically in 1976. So again, I'm going to tell you flat out, we're going to do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that. Never forget at the end of the day, it's simple. God loves us all. It's how it works. So let's play the game to win. You want me to stop it?